Is it technically winter?
I think so.
It's autumn because
because of the clocks changing, that makes it winter, doesn't it? And that winter solstice.
Equinox makes it winter, doesn't it?
When's that?
Next full moon.
I always work it out like this. There's 3 months in each season, isn't there? Yeah.
Mm.
Right. The only way to get it to work is September, October, and November are autumn because in December, January, February is winter.
Yeah.
March, April, May, spring. June, July, August, summer.
Well, I think for me, winter starts when I change into trousers.
Yeah, but that's you fucking mad man. Not the other 699,999,000,000,000 people.
So
living
winter
this
starts
planet.
when it's spring for everyone else.
Yeah,
you're saying. Right.
And I went into a shop the other day. Me and the girlfriend were going out to a party, and she wanted one of those little cans of like
mace.
Pimm's with lemonade in. You know, you can buy the pre-made Pimm's cans. Right. She wanted one of those, and went shopping. It was the last one on the shelf, and I took it to the counter, and the woman went, "Oh no!" I was like, "What?" And she went, "That's the last can, isn't it?" I went, "Yeah." And she went, "That means it's officially winter." I was like, "Oh, okay." That's how the lady in the supermarket defines winter.
You know, in Game of Thrones, when they send out the ravens to tell you it's winter, at the Met Office, they're like, "Is it winter yet?" And they're like, "Shall we use our giant supercomputer?" And they're like, "No, let's ask that punk hipster on the Isle of Wight if he's in trousers yet." Yes, he's still in shorts, but we don't know whether he's being stubborn for the sake of it.
Was he able to procure a gin and tonic?
Oh dear.
Was it a gin and tonic?
No, Pimm's.
Pimm's and lemonade. Oh, I see. Anyway,
so this is our first winter podcast.
In autumn.
In autumn. It's not actually winter yet, but hello. This is a podcast. This is a SNEWS Button podcast. We would usually bring you just another retrocast as well on a Thursday, but we're not going to be doing that this week.
Bit of a week off.
I'm moving house. We've got Comic-Con coming this weekend. We've got staff members that aren't here. So
we could do a massive slam next week, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you say that, it'll probably just be the same as usual. But yeah. So yes, this is the SNEWS Button, and this is generally released on Tuesdays. So there are loads more of these to listen to online as well. Go and check them out. Thank you very much.
It's annoying because it was this week. It was just going to be about masturbation, wasn't it?
We all know about that.
How wanking changed through the 80s and 90s.
One-player games,
bush porn to free online streaming.
Ready Player One.
That's quite good for you.
Hey.
Not delivering certain pages on your paper route.
Oh dear. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SNEWS Button, episode number 19, with Mr. Adam Gattrell.
Hello.
Mr. Ross Murphy.
Hello.
And me, Mr. Chris Quinton. Hello.
Hello.
How the bloody hell are we doing?
Good.
Cool.
Yeah, I missed last week.
You did?
I had a listen. It sounded quite fun. A lot of
what
interesting news. You were talking about things like the Baby Cart remake.
Oh, yes.
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah,
that sounded quite interesting.
It does. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
And put my hand up, and because you're going to talk about Thor Ragnarok this evening, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
I was listening back to our podcast, and on 3 occasions I called the planet Scar.
Yeah.
It's a car, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I was listening to it thinking, you dick. Oh, you dick, you've done it again. Oh, fuck, you can't cover it up now.
I didn't notice it until I think the third time you said it, and I went, I think he's saying that wrong.
All our listeners have gone, well, actually, no, he's got that wrong. I'm going to find another podcast where they don't make mistakes.
I think you'll find Scar's his son.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, so you saw just another Ragnarok this week.
I did see just another Ragnarok. Yeah, I watched Thor Ragnarok on Saturday evening. No, Sunday evening even.
You went to expensive cinema?
Last night. I didn't have a choice.
Ooh. Your girlfriend made you do it?
No, it was just the only time all of us, because there's a load of us that go as a group always.
The Marvel movie dweebs.
we just have a group of us, and we've always...
Hi, Butcher.
Yeah, Butcher and me are the main two in the group, and then there's various other people that come with us at different times.
Like Millhouse and Penfold.
But yeah...
Fuck, I almost laughed coffee through my nose then.
Right into the microphone. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Cool. Come on then, tell us about it. What happened?
It's really funny, like really funny.
The jokes all landed for you, did they?
Yeah, there was nothing
on the planet Scar.
There were a couple of jokes that were like a bit like, okay, they're aimed at younger people, or they're aimed at so and so, whatever. But yeah, most of it was like in keeping and on point. Jeff Goldblum as a Marvel character, which is what you expected, but he was really good. The special effects look right for what the film is. None of it looks green screen bullshit. None of it looks over the top. There's
a couple of shots where they've like completely changed location, and I think I've heard a couple of people say where it's Thor's hammer when it gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was first filmed with like some kind of a rocky outcrop sort of background, and then now in the film it's got a green kind of background. They're in nice fields somewhere.
Still the same place. There are rocks, then there is also green.
Yeah, but if you go and look at the two trailers, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jurassic World was a bit like that, wasn't it? There's noticeable differences in the CGI from the first trailer to the last.
Okay.
It's almost like it's all done in post-production, isn't it? About the same time as they bring these trailers out.
Yeah.
Rogue One trailer, completely different movie.
Yeah.
It's a love story about a woman and a missing TIE fighter.
TIE fighter that follows her around like a lost puppy, no matter where she might go. Anyway,
it was good fun. It loosened. It kind of tied up loads of loose ends from previous Marvel films, because obviously it's set kind of linked to the end of Age of Ultron, and it's kind of got that thing where certain bits of it are linked to the end of 4-3.
Right.
4-2, sorry, Dark World. Some of it's linked to the end of Age of Ultron, but kind of because of how it works and what the storyline is and where it is in space, that all makes sense. It all kind of leads into, for the characters that are in it, it makes sense that they've ended up in these situations at that point.
Okay. What about the Planet Hulk aspect? Was it? I've heard it's a little shorter than you might expect.
No, it goes throughout like 2/3 of the film.
Right. Gladiatorial games aren't really a big thing, though, no?
No, they don't give you much of that. They do have a lot of the other characters from Planet Hulk within the gladiatorial games and on that planet.
Okay.
It's not quite the same as the way it is or the way it happens in the comics, but then I don't mind because it's a different medium. So much like with Civil War, that was a scaled down version of that story. This is just a re-edit of how that story happened and how it works, and it fits really well. And it's got good action, good graphics, good music, good score music, good acting. Did you get a clear
indication, without talking about it, because I wouldn't really want to go and see this film, did you get a clear indication of how because I don't know if you heard last week about the fact that they're going to be creating a Hulk story arc that appears through the next 3 movies, starting with this one. So did you get a clear indication of where that arc's going to go?
Kind of.
Right.
Without knowing that, you probably would say no.
Right. Without knowing what happens in the comics after Planet Hulk, you mean?
Yeah, because I don't imagine they're going to do World War Hulk.
No?
No, I think they're going to do something else, but I think it will involve Hulk having like some friends he's made along the way. Yeah, it's really difficult to explain Hulk's story arc within it without ruining the film.
Okay.
There's time elements involved, space elements involved. I really enjoyed it. It's another kind of paint by numbers Marvel film, in the sense that they've got a very exact way they want to make films, but it's not a standard origin Marvel film, and it's not kind of anywhere near as weak as Thor: The Dark World.
Thor: The Worst World.
Yeah, and it's not the best Marvel film, but it's got some amazing elements in it. It kind of works as well as Guardians of the Galaxy works, in the sense that it's an awesome space romp.
Okay.
But it's got some drama in it, but they do play on the humour well, and there's a lot of cameos of big actors in it.
I heard, actually, but I don't know anything
but
specific.
In a good way, like really good ways, like in a funny way that's not like... It took me... There's one bit with a certain actor, and I had to turn to my girlfriend and just go,
Is that who I think it is?
Is that who I think it is?
Because there's a CGI character.
Like, yeah.
Right.
What I will say is that we had a bunch of people who were sat behind us, and if you were the people, for some reason you're listening to this, and one of you is listening to this, and you were the people that sat behind us, that my mate Butcher had to turn around and go, "Can you stop kicking the back of my fucking chair?" If my girlfriend hadn't have been there, I'd have had a go at you for a lot more than that, because you were chatting through the whole fucking film behind me and nudging my chair, and you're a 5'2" woman when I'm nearly 6 foot. If I can not nudge the chair in front of me, you're doing something wrong. It's just her and her bloke and this other bloke, and they were arguing about who was sitting next to who, and it's like, I don't care if you talk during the adverts, I'm not even too bothered if you talk a little bit through the trailers, but once the film starts, shut up and sit still.
Be a dick in your own time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I hate cinemas.
You have this trouble a lot though, don't you?
At cinemas, yeah.
Last time you went to the cinema you had this problem.
Well, yeah, like, I remember actually haunted by bad.
I didn't for Blade Runner.
screens.
Blade Runner was great. I didn't have any interruptions from any dickheads during Blade Runner.
When I went and saw Wonder Woman, I had a really annoying couple behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you're not sure about
He's not picked up on that
wait.
at all. It was him and his girlfriend. Anyway,
Well, yeah.
Ross is just played by incorrect.
Yeah,
Ross is just played by incorrect aspect ratios and lighting and contrast. You get dickhead bloody audiences.
Yeah. Yeah, the cinema's a bad cinema anyway. I don't disagree that the sound setup is awful and the contrast and layout of the seating is crap, but to then have annoying audience members sat behind you just makes it worse.
Just don't go early. Always go late.
What, late screenings, you mean?
No, late in the
Late in the run.
When you go, it's tea time.
Right.
If there's a 5 o'clock showing,
it's
that's
perfect.
the one to go to.
Yeah.
If you could put up with not having your dinner like a blooming robot at 5 o'clock,
I'll tell you what.
that is the time you go to the cinema.
In front of
it's
us,
fucking dead.
We were in row K. In front of us was at least 8 rows of like maybe 4 people in all of the rows. So it wasn't busy, but the people just sat right behind us. So that was slightly annoying.
Oh well.
I also, just to let you know, watched the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things Series 2.
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roscoe.
I've seen about 3 of them as well.
Cool. Should we talk about it
Should
now
we talk
then?
about Stranger Things?
Yeah.
'Cause I haven't got much. I have not consumed anything this week. I haven't caught up with. I'm 2 now. As of Monday, I'm 2 behind on Star Trek.
Ooh.
I haven't watched The Walking
up to
Dead
date
yet
on that.
either.
The last episode of Star Trek was only okay, I thought.
What, number 7?
The
one
7?
that came out
not
this
the
morning.
one today. No, the one
Okay.
last week. It was all right.
I can't remember what
It
happened
was the
in
one where he was...
Ah,
He hasn't
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it.
Ross hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
is it the one where he tells everybody he got touched up by Kevin Spacey? Is it that one?
No, it's not that one.
Yeah, wow.
That's this
Look,
episode.
the captain's
isn't it?
apologised for that. So, and she's now living as a gay man. So, so it's the one where somebody is told that they need to not do something and they need to stand down and then they disobey the order. Yeah. So,
That sounds like
all of the
all
episodes.
of these
Yeah.
episodes so far.
You're not
Yeah, I
far
haven't
off.
watched episode 2 of The Walking Dead. I'll probably watch it when I get home tonight.
I cannot
I'm
stand
out of
that
it.
show.
Probably fall asleep.
I'm not watching it. I just don't care
No,
anymore.
it's an awful show.
I've lost it. Although I am watching another show by the same producers called Law, which is based on a guy's podcast, and it's all sort of historical documentary style stories, and it's apparently it's just a direct rip audio wise of his podcast basically, and they've put sort of dramatization into it to elongate it, and it's cool. It kind of gives you background on the real stories that influenced, Victorian horror, like, the stories of werewolves and Frankenstein and stuff like that. But it's nicely put together. The guy that actually produces the podcast gets a lot of flack for sounding a bit robotic, but he's got quite an eerie tone to him.
It's kind of the subject matter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
It's only a 6-episode run. It's anthology, so none of them are particularly related. Even within the shows themselves, each one, sometimes he just chucks in little snippet stories. So you get 2 or 3 stories in one episode. But they're very good. It's an Amazon show, and they're all available on the Pirate Bay. so yeah. Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's really good, isn't it?
It's going very well so far.
I think I've seen 3 episodes now.
I've watched 4 episodes, and the thing I was worried about that I said ages ago, the idea that they just keep doing series, and I kind of wanted it to be each series was about a different strange thing with different characters, maybe one character like the police guy just crossing over or something. They've managed to avoid what I thought would happen, which would the second series just would be a retread and wouldn't be as good.
I've got a lot of faith in these guys, the Duffer Brothers. In actual fact, they're talking about 4 seasons, and I mean, straight away, as soon as the episode 1 started of this second season, you're introduced to a certain character who I'm assuming is going to crop up again later on. Bit with a car chase. Remember the opening scene?
Yeah.
Car chase and mind control makes it look as if...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
She's got a tattoo of her.
Spoilers.
Fuck it.
To be honest, mate, the fact we haven't seen all 10 episodes is we're behind.
Yeah, we are probably behind.
So many people have gone, yeah, I finished it.
Yeah.
Because it came out on Friday.
Yeah, true.
And a lot of people just went out on Friday and got really
I've
drunk,
already seen comments. I've already seen comments that have possibly spoiled stuff for me further down the line.
You need better friends or less dickheads on Facebook, or a combination of both.
It's just like, it's not even Facebook. It's just general online bullshit.
Don't go on those websites either, then.
Yeah, but it's things like Yahoo News. You come out of your email and there's like a
Vanity
news story.
Fair, that's a bad one for it.
Yeah, and it just states something in the title thing of
not
the
that
article.
I read Vanity Fair, but you know.
Yeah.
Just going to state that outright. All right.
Where's the Halloween party episode 2?
Yeah, that's where I've just finished.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I really wanted to know what movie they were dressed up as, and I had a fairly good idea it was Tom Cruise, but I had no idea who the girl was dressed up as.
Oh, I see.
And it's just
Wednesday.
And I googled
maybe?
it, and I really wanted to know it, and I was like, right, I've got to Google this without it getting
ruining everything
Stranger
else.
Things.
Yeah.
And I kept saying spoiler warnings, but it was spoilers for episode 2, and the film's risky business.
Risky business.
Risky business.
Okay.
I knew who Tom Cruise was, but I didn't know who Rebecca De Mornay was.
Cool. So yeah, so far so good. I plan on watching at least 3 more episodes this evening. Well, I don't know if I can squeeze in 3 and an episode of Star Trek, but I'll have a bloody good go. Be all right. Yeah. Any other?
We should be done by. We should probably be able to do a
full series review.
If we can get Paul to watch it
by next week.
Has he seen season 1 though?
I don't know.
Paul, have you seen season 1?
I think he has.
No answer. Right. Okay. Find out next week.
So we've pretty much all consumed the same thing.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. So
'tis true. Oh, news related to Thor.
Oh,
Should we start off with some SNEWS?
Yeah, go on then.
Chris, have you not got anything you consumed this week?
I did watch Gerald's game, Stephen King. That's very good.
Yeah.
But, you know...
You're just kind of watching... like last week you watched like 2 Stephen King. Are you just catching up on
1922 by Stephen King.
Yeah.
I'm listening to a Stephen King audiobook at the moment as well.
Yeah, you're just Stephen Kinging yourself up.
I am
It's
watching
very weird.
and reading a lot of Stephen King. But there may be a reason for that, and I'll tell you about it another time. But yeah.
Is he your new friend?
For people who don't know, Chris is doing copious amounts of cocaine and trying to write a novel.
No, I'm not. Anyway. Right, yeah, so news related to Thor. So, Taika Waititi, he wants to do a Black Widow comedy.
Yeah, I don't think that would work with that character.
I'm a bit kind of like... Ugh.
The thing is, like, what he does is brilliant, and I love his stuff, and it works for Thor, which I think I always kind of found Thor in the cartoons and the comic books to be quite a comical character anyway. He wasn't always as serious as Thor the Dark World tried to be.
Right.
So yeah, it worked for this one, but I don't think like Black Widow's or Scarlet Witch is the sort of characters like if you take them and do their own films, it's not going to be comedy, is it?
Well, I don't know. It depends because like that opening shot for the opening scene for Avengers Age of Ultron, where she's being held captive by some Russians.
Avengers.
Is that Avengers?
Yeah.
Is that the first one?
Yeah. But that's humour within the situation of other characters being involved, and also like
still that situation comedy.
She's very straight with her humour. It's not like ho 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 ho.
No, it's not slapstick or anything.
Yeah, some of his stuff is very much more slapstick and out there bizarre rather than straight comedy like that. But he could surprise us. I never know.
Joss Whedon wrote that scene like years and years and years ago, completely before he'd ever even dreamt of writing or directing an Avengers movie.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was just written, just something in his sketchbook that he's pulled out and thought, oh, maybe that'll work. Let's try it. And it bloody did, didn't it? Awesome. He loved Thor Ragnarok. He's chucking around the word masterpiece, which is a good thing.
The thing is, with these Marvel movies, the more they just make good ones of, they're going to stand out less and less from each other, aren't they? Which I think's happening now.
Yeah.
I don't know, because...
Like, the water gets... more they make, the muddier the water gets.
Well, it depends, because there'll
like,
be...
all I know at this point is Iron Man
2's
not very good, Iron Man 3's alright, and then the rest just sort of fit in the middle of that.
I think the Iron Man trilogy is fantastic, personally. I love all three of them.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do.
The second one is the weakest.
The fight in the suits is ridiculous.
Yeah, but the second one is the weakest, but there's a reason for that being there. It's not like it's an unneeded scene. It makes sense for the situation they were building to.
I imagine I have the same sort of nostalgic perspective with Iron Man as you do with Star Wars, though, Ross.
Yeah, but Star Wars is good.
Yeah, but Iron Man 2 and 3 are good.
Yeah.
He was my favourite.
I'd say Iron Man is the first one is still one of the best Marvel and comic book films ever made.
Yeah.
And then the second Iron Man's okay. It's weaker, and then Iron Man 3 is much better than Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 1, 2 and 3 are the Phantom Menace, Attack of Clones and Revenge of the Sith of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Iron Man 1?
Not.
No.
No, they're not.
Iron Man 1 doesn't fit with the prequels. I'll give you the second and third could. But yeah.
I think in actual fact, they're very good. They've been very good at creating trilogies, haven't they? The Captain America trilogy is very, very good.
Captain America's very good.
And this rounds off, well, in actual fact, probably betters the Thor trilogy, doesn't it? So...
Hang on, there's 3 Captain America movies?
Yeah, Civil War's Captain America, isn't it?
Captain America, the First Avenger, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Captain America...
yeah, I forgot about Winter Soldier and Civil War, sort of like a bit of a blur.
Yeah, well, they kind of are connected. The thing is, with the Thor movie as well, this one, it kind of feels like it's an episode carry-on of the whole Marvel universe, which is kind of what I want. I'm not too fussed about whether other people want it to be that way, but I like the idea that each film is adding to and carrying on the story. Like, they can do standalone ones or separate ones, like Guardians of the Galaxy is not really connected yet, but I quite like the way they are kind of doing that whole thing. I like the kind of episodic element to it.
Seeing as we're still floating around in Asgard here, what about his little gingerhead mate, the one with the little goatee beard? I can't remember the character's name. Thor's mate.
What, one of the 3?
Little gingerhead, scruffy dude.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not scruffy. He's very, very well maintained.
Yeah.
Can you remember the character's name?
I can't remember it right now. No. He's one of the one of the 3, like Warriors 3. That's what they're called, the Warriors 3.
He's played by Zachary Levi. That's the more important thing. And he's going to be bloody Shazam.
Yeah.
So The Rock's kind of taking him under his wing, apparently, as far as his training is concerned. Ring. And, so apparently he's going on The Rock's training regime.
Ah.
Heavy shit for a little bloke. Imagine.
Well, yeah. He's jumping from Marvel to DC, and why not?
Well, it happens the other way around quite a lot.
Yeah.
So,
well, to be honest, there's been quite a few directors, including James Gunn, who've made a point of having a go at fans recently, going, like, you can like either, it doesn't matter. You can like both. You don't have to pick a side and argue.
As long as there are no female writers, then it's fine. What? Sorry?
He hasn't said that.
Sorry, that was Rick and Morty. That was humour. Anyway.
But no, he's made comments quite openly recently, and I think he's right. You know, I don't like the DC films other than Wonder Woman because I think they're all badly made. But even bits of Wonder Woman are badly made. But it doesn't. You know, I'm not going to say people can't like them. I just think they're idiots.
Black Adam solo movie though. Apparently
Shazam's a weird character to choose to do anyway.
He is a bit. But
it's Banana Man cross Superman.
I think apparently because the name Shazam is an acronym of all of the names of the gods from which he draws his powers, and therefore the story is going to kind of cross quite nicely with Wonder Woman. So yeah.
So Zeus is the Z then.
I guess so. I know Achilles is in there as well. So yeah.
Okay.
So you can probably kick him in the ankle and he'll go down. just in case you come across Shazam at any point. Black Adam, the solo movie is not going to happen because they were talking about doing that first, but they're releasing Shazam in 2019, April 2019 to be precise, in its place. So that's not long to go. Right, let's stick with DC. Victor Garber's leaving Legends of Tomorrow, Adam.
Victor Garber?
Yeah, he's one half of Firestorm, the old bloke.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, yeah.
Do you like Firestorm as a character?
The first series of the Legends of Tomorrow I quite enjoyed. And then the second series, there were some good bits, but it got a bit weak at the beginning and then got better and then got weak again. And now I'm at the point where there's so many other better shows, I've just given up.
Right.
I can't be bothered with it.
So you're not actually watching it at all?
I haven't watched the latest series at all, no.
Okay.
I kind of got to that point where Supergirl and Flash and Inhumans...
It was Flash I first saw him in, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Firestorm was first.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought at the time, like, that character's quite cool because of the conflict between the two halves.
Yeah, young black guy, old school, older white guy.
But it's probably going to get a bit old.
Yeah, I just think it's that as a series is just the weakest of the DC shows other than Gotham. So it's kind of I'd rather watch Flash and Supergirl and then watch Marvel TV shows and fill my time that I am watching stuff comic book related that's TV with stuff worth watching.
Fair enough. So hang on, you say it was a young black guy that's one half of Firestorm now? Because it wasn't a white guy to start with.
Yeah, originally, and he died.
Oh, did he?
I think.
Oh, so he died and came back from the dead as Firestorm, and then died again.
I can't remember what happened.
Character's girlfriend
it was
haywire.
Ages ago. I think he dies again, and the black guy was the next character to sort of the next human to have the right DNA or whatever it is to merge. So
fair enough.
Had to keep him alive.
How well, he's going off to work on Broadway anyway, Victor Garber. What about a Deathstroke movie? Do you guys fancy that?
No.
No?
No.
Ross?
Is that Will Smith's character?
No, that's
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
Fucking hell.
So Deathstroke is the original Deadpool. So he's like a super badass assassin. He's kind of like, I think he gets called anti-Batman at times because he's got like enhanced strength. He's a real badass with loads of weapons. He's a mercenary. And the artist who created him left DC and went to work at Marvel.
Flip of the same character.
Yeah.
So it's the same creator, isn't it? So
yeah. So there's talk of him not actually appearing in the Batman movie.
Right.
And I guess Joe Manganiello's done like a year or so of training, especially for the part.
Yeah, he's made comments because he's quite pissed off.
Right, and I'm not surprised that they would think, well, we should probably try and do something with this character because the fans really like him. And we've paid for all this training, with Katana and everything. So, he's going to get his own movie. Have you got any favourite Deathstroke comic strips or anything?
No.
No?
No, he's not a character that ever really struck a chord with me.
Have you read Batman vs. Robin, by any chance?
Yes.
The one where Deathstroke is controlling Robin through a chip in his brain.
Yeah.
Do you remember the end of it?
No.
It's okay, so Deathstroke is another bloody example of Batman.
Robin Blue Screens of Death.
You what?
Robin Blue Screens of Death.
Robin Blue Screens of Death?
Yeah. That's Batman makes him crash.
Oh, right.
And then he's back to normal.
Right,
reset his hard drive, yeah.
Got you. See what you mean. But yeah, another example of Batman being a dick. So,
Batman's always a dick. He's a fucking bellend.
Deathstroke has been incapacitated. He's, broken his back or something, and he's lying in a hospital bed, and he's controlling Robin through a microchip that's been implanted in his brain, and it's what's Bruce Wayne's son? Damian Wayne at this point. And Bruce Wayne finds out about the chip, cuts off the connection, gets his Robin back, goes and finds Deathstroke lying in a hospital bed, and still beats the shit out of him. Beats him up.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah.
Mental.
Batman's a dick. But I love him. That's about it for DC stuff, I suppose, unless you guys know of anything else that's happening this week.
No, other than that they're trying to merge things from the Watchmen back in more and more at the moment, and there's been...
In the comics, you mean?
Yeah, and there's been talk about Rorschach getting his own comic, because there's been like little images people have released of the hand coming back out of the ash in the snow.
Right.
So the idea that he's been brought back to life in some way or other. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Cool. Could be a red herring, but you never know.
Marvel stuff, I suppose. Still no word of when season 3 of Daredevil is going to come, but Vincent D'Onofrio is definitely coming back as Will Fisk, which is good.
Good, because he's amazing. He was the strongest part of all of the Daredevil shows in my eyes.
Did we see him in Daredevil season 2?
Yeah.
Was that the one with the artwork?
He was
and
in
the art dealer?
No, he was in the prison.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think he's the strongest. Like the way they played the storyline of that character and his way of playing that character was the closest to a character from a comic that I can think of.
Yeah. No, he's a brilliant Kingpin.
Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn was mentioned. Well, yeah, Rogue One was mentioned earlier. Ben Mendelsohn's going to be the arch nemesis of Captain Marvel, apparently, in the movie.
What, as in Marvel's Captain Marvel?
Yeah, not as in Shazam.
No. Okay, cool.
This is where it all gets
Which one's
confusing.
Ben Mendelsohn?
He was
Orson Krennic.
Orson Krennic, yeah. So the main bad dude, well, not the main bad dude, the white-clothed bad dude that was running the planet where they were.
The one bad dude that was actually real, not CGI.
He's Australian. Oh, are the others? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There was only really one other major. Oh, no. Darth Vader, was he CGI?
Looked fucking CGI, didn't he?
Was he? Didn't notice. I need to go and watch that film again.
It's not very good.
I quite
really
enjoyed
like it.
but I fell asleep for about 20 minutes at the start, so yeah, there's some bit with a tentacle monster or something that I missed.
I really liked it, but one of my mates did make a point that if Rogue One was a standalone film and didn't have you hadn't seen any of the other Star Wars films, it's not going to make sense.
No,
it's going to be a complete mess of a film. Which is actually quite a good point.
Would I watch... Do you think Empire Strikes Back stands up on its own?
Yeah,
I suppose it might do, because it introduces the characters quite nicely at the beginning.
Yeah, that Rogue One kind of does, but...
You get that, you get the pre-credit scroll, don't you?
Oh, yeah,
as
of
well
course.
With Star Wars. It's like, it's always like...
Rogue One didn't do that.
It literally is an episode of Flash Gordon.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Rogue One doesn't do that.
No.
I got, I've been watching Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one.
It's great.
What's the Forrest Whitaker? That's weird. I've seen a film with Forrest Whitaker in as well this week. Sorry to completely hijack the podcast and go back to Consnewm, but I've been watching that 18-hour Vietnam documentary.
Oh yeah.
I've been stupidly extending it out by every now and then stopping it and watching a Vietnam film because I'm like, oh, I wonder how Platoon stands up. And Platoon stands up as in it's got one of the best ensemble casts ever.
Yeah.
So there's so many people in it,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it both the Sheens?
No,
Is
just Charlie Sheen.
Estevez is in it, isn't he?
No.
No, that's Young Guns. They're both in together, aren't they?
It's definitely...
Johnny Depp, Tony Todd, Forrest Whitaker. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. And, he's in the first 2 episodes of Star Wars Rebels. No, the second 2 episodes of Star Wars Rebels this season.
Yeah.
But he's still not all fucked up with the old...
Who's the Green Goblin with the in the first Spider-Man
William
movie?
Dafoe.
William Dafoe, he's in it, right?
Yeah, and Tom Berenger.
Yeah.
They're fucking
the arch
brilliant
nemesis.
in it, both,
They hate each other.
And but yeah, the I can't remember what his name is. Saul Guerrero, isn't it?
Saul Guerrero. Yeah.
The Empire,
it's a younger him in the cartoon of Rebels.
Well, no, it's not. Like literally, that's the thing. Rebels is season 4 of Rebels is gonna run right up to the start of Rogue One.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And so he's like, I guess we're gonna find out in Rebels how he gets all mangled up at some point.
Yeah.
But it just reminds he's got.
So he's not talking like that at the moment.
No, but he's like. You talking about the tentacle creature, and he goes, "Go and get the blood, Gully."
Right.
I can't remember what he says now, but I was there. So it's not even funny. It's only funny to me. When we went to Carrisbrook Castle, not over the summer, I was just reading everything.
That's a castle, a historic castle that's sort of close to us here on the Isle of Wight. By the way,
but it's like a proper really cool. The only thing for a castle that hasn't got is a moat full of water, and it literally ticks every castle box.
Yeah, with jousting in the summertime and everything.
I was in the gatehouse reading up on everything, and I just
Portcullis.
I just kept reading portcullis, and then so I just kept going. I just kept going up to Anna and going, "Close the portcullis." And I just didn't stop saying portcullis in that voice.
So
for about
fucking nerdy. It's amazing.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I was making a joke out of portcullis.
I know, but
and
it's so
portcullis.
nerdy. You're making a Star Wars joke about something you read in the museum articles of a castle. That is as nerdy as you can get.
It's very
other
true.
than
You're probably
tank
really pissed off your
museums.
girlfriend.
Just shut up.
I could have just gone there on a tank, couldn't I? And then it would have been the best story.
Very true.
Close the portcullis.
But look, anyway, like Ben Mendelsohn, he is also going to be Nolan Sorrento in Ready Player One, which I didn't know, which is quite cool. He's the main bad guy in Ready Player One.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the main bad guy, though?
Well, you could argue that the corporation is the main bad guy,
Yeah.
but he's the
He is
dickhead.
just a
is he
cog
the head
in the
of
He's
machine.
the face.
Is he the head of the
He's just a cog.
corporation, or
He's the facial cog.
Does he not own it?
No.
hang on, isn't this like he's the other giant tech billionaire?
No.
Isn't he like
the
like
Steve
an evil
Jobs to
Steve
Bill
Jobs?
Gates?
I was going to say evil Elon Musk.
I thought he was...
think Elon Musk might be evil.
I
He
liked
just
it
hides
when
it very well.
I liked it when they were talking.
Don't all the best ones?
He's just a mass murderer. He's saying, yeah, we're going to send people to Mars in 7 years, and he's just going to fire a rocket full of like 200 people into space and go, bye then.
That's 200 less on the planet. Maybe
Exactly.
we can cure the planet.
I
He's
like
going to
how
do
he
a
gets-
secret service.
He's a
isn't he?
maniac.
He gets a mention in Star Trek, doesn't it?
He's a Bond
Yeah.
villain. Yeah, he
And
does.
they're like, you're going to be named you want to be named in the same sentence as the Wright brothers and Elon Musk and Zephyr Cochrane. And I was like, I know who three of those are, and one of them's fictional.
Very cool. Right, Logan.
Anyway, Chris, on with the portcullis.
Logan, they're going to be doing a Logan spin-off focusing on X-23. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
That's in the works from James Mangold. That's the guy that did Copland, Girl Interrupted, Walk the Line and 310 to Yuma.
There's some good films in
They
that
are,
list.
yeah.
Yeah, it's also some crap. But
Really? Which ones do you not like?
what was the name? What were the ones you said?
Copland, which I've not seen actually, but it's got quite good reviews.
I thought you said Cop Out.
No. Girl Interrupted.
No, that's fine.
I thought you
you said Cop Out. That's why
I thought you said Juice Bigelow, Male Gigolo. Did you say Scary Movie 4 in that?
Charlie's Angels.
Hey, the first one's not that bad. The second one is terrible.
What, Charlie's Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a discussion about that when it was just us, didn't we?
Yeah,
Adam?
yeah,
And it
we
was
did.
What about how the first one's bearable, but
No,
the
it
second one's...
just about Charlie's Angels in general, but yeah.
First one's bearable, second one's fucking atrocious.
I'd like to say I'd go and watch it again, but I've
No.
got better things to do with my time. Like watching Preacher Season 3, for instance.
When's that out?
It's been renewed for next year, but I don't know. Have you seen the second season yet?
Yeah.
Did you get on with it all right?
I really liked it.
I've only got a couple of episodes in and kind of stopped.
I think
'Cause
people...
the missus doesn't like it.
I think also people...
No, Anna, like, first episode, she's like, this isn't for me.
No, and I can understand why. There's also a lot of people moaning about it, but the things they're moaning about, it's like, yeah, like they're pushing the boundaries with what they can do from that comic.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
show.
weird comic to try and put on
There's
TV,
a lot
isn't it?
they put in that comic you cannot put on TV or even in film without being at risk of it being banned.
I was talking
basically.
to a real hardcore Preacher fan the other day, and she was like, "No, I won't watch the TV series. It's just bollocks."
I think it's really good. It's like that Hitchhikers thing. It's a different medium, so it's going to be different. They're going to take what they can and do a good storyline using that. And so far, I think it's pretty good.
There you go.
I didn't really like... I gave up on the comic about 2 graphic novels in. I
Really?
think 2 or 3
Oh, it's brilliant. It gets better and better as it goes along.
Fucking dark and twisted and weird. Well, it's already dark and twisted and weird by the bloody second one. So
Yeah. Fourth, fifth, and sixth are fucking mental, and the ninth one is it the ninth
I
one?
don't know
the
if I've
last
read
one?
that far into it, but
I've read the whole lot.
I think it's one of those
yeah.
things where it's full of so many characters you don't want to spend any time with.
Yeah, it's still dirty, nasty scoundrels that
I like that.
treat each
though.
other like shit.
So I liked Misfits.
Being
'cause he
hunted
didn't
by
like
evil.
anyone.
But yeah.
Like, it's like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but with no comedy in it.
And a vampire.
There's shitloads of comedy. It's just a different type of comedy.
Yeah, it's like why I don't like Nighty Night.
Yeah,
Nighty Night's just too dark.
Yeah.
I've not seen Nighty Night, don't think.
British comedy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very, very good.
Right, you're right.
Almost like Chris Morris on antidepressants.
Okay. Chris Morris on antidepressants.
Yeah, yeah.
Not depressants.
No, as in, like, he'd have to have antidepressants to deal with that type of humour. It's quite twisted and dark.
Okay, what about Star Trek Discovery? That's been renewed for a second season already.
Cool.
I can't
Seeing as
speak
I got
with
mentioned
any
earlier.
authority on it yet because, as spoke about earlier, we're behind. But I'm up for that.
How many
So
episodes
it
are
stopped
there?
being. So this bollocks about it being an anthology is bollocks.
It is bollocks, yeah.
Yeah.
They've gone. We'll do this, and it's people like it, and they're going to keep doing it, aren't they?
Have you spotted the Tribble yet, Ross?
Yes, it's in every episode, isn't
Yes, it is. Have you spotted it yet,
No.
Adam?
No, sorry, it's in every episode once she gets on the weird little jump ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
Discovery.
not noticing it because I'm
Discovery, yeah.
Is it Discovery or
It is.
Discover?
Discovery.
Yeah.
When the show's called
Discovery.
No, they're both called Discovery.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the thing for me is, there's a lot of people moaning about it at the moment, but to be honest, I think they've taken the best elements from all the other types of Star Trek. And the thing is, 60s Star Trek, Next Generation, onwards, and then the films, and then Enterprise are all slightly, although they're kind of all linked in some way, they're all totally different.
Yeah.
Like, they've all got very distinctive differences in their
true.
styles. So
Quite tonally
I
different,
like the fact they've kind of taken elements from all of it, and they're doing something a bit more up to date and a little bit more interesting, rather than just going, well, we're just going to do more of the Next Generation, which is weak at times.
Quick
We're going to do
question.
more of the original Star Trek, which is just cheesy at times. Like, it's nice to see them kind of mashing a bit of all of it together.
Being quite brave. Anyway, yeah.
Quick question, because I hate retconning and shoehorning and shit like that.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen that makes them go, we totally forgot this technology ever existed?
What do you mean?
With the old fucking time-travelling jump ship they've got.
Well, no, it'll get...
Oh, sorry, spoilers.
I reckon it'll get destroyed at some
And
point.
everybody associated with it. It's like saying the moon land. It's like when they try and lie about, say, the moon landings didn't happen, and you just go, too many people knew
No, but
about it.
the ship is a secret at the moment. The technology and the information about it are only on that ship.
And it's just a ship that doesn't exist anymore.
So if the main three people that understand how it works, and then the ship get taken out or killed off throughout the series, or the ship and most of the files get damaged and the drive doesn't work anymore, and the two main people who understand it get killed, and there's only one person who kind of understands it left.
In the Tribble with Tribbles episode, in the original series, do they pick up a Tribble from a planet?
No.
Does somebody sell it to them? Or do they find it on a ship in space?
They get it on a space station.
On a space station?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's the one with the Klingons.
Yeah.
With it.
With Mudd.
Harry Mudd, okay.
Yeah.
I like that it was played by Dwight from The Office.
Yeah. True.
Or the detective that he played... I can't remember. TV series. They did one series where he plays a detective who's got no filter, and he's absolutely amazing. Backstrom, that's it.
Backstrom.
Yeah,
right.
Backstrom's great.
What he can, what they could do actually is blow this ship up, and then they could get a Constellation Class one and give it the A on the end, couldn't they? Like what they do with the Enterprise every time it blows up.
Right. Yeah.
Or they could just end up like, if you're following the main three crew members, the captain, the long lanky creature, and Michael, if they do a certain thing and then like a load of people get killed off, it could be where they get moved to, and you get their separate stories.
I still say the key is the Tribble. I think it's going to be the Tribble.
It's going to cause trouble.
Their weird hyperdrive thing is going to set it off, and it's not multiplying at the moment. And their weird hyperdrive thing is going to make it go.
That's a cracking episode of Deep Space Nine, isn't it? Where they go back and touch that
so
time
well
travel
done.
on.
And then the ship gets full up with Tribbles to the point of nothing else can exist on the ship. Boom, Discovery's dead. End of show. Thank you very much, writers. You can have that one free of charge. It's fine.
It would be awful for them to find a You know, Tribble's what's the word I'm looking for?
Replicate.
Not replicate.
Reproduce.
Reproduce so quickly that there's probably an incident of happening in the Star Trek universe where they found a ship and they've opened it up and everybody inside's dead.
Yeah, because it's just filled with tribbles.
That's exactly what I mean, yeah. It's stuffed.
Like packing peanuts.
Like sardines at a party. Right, Quantum Leap.
Awesome show.
Would you like a movie?
No.
Why not?
The series did what it needed to do.
No, yeah, it doesn't need to be Quantum Leap. It just you just take the premise of that.
Yeah, the concept rather than just remaking it. Do a concept that's based on that idea.
Did he get home?
No.
It never finished.
It did finish, but it finished with him never going home.
He decided he wasn't going home, did he?
Yeah.
That's quite handy, isn't it? Because that means you could then, infinitum, you could just watch any episode in any order.
I think because it's a show for its period in time, what they would deal with now, which they probably didn't deal too much with in Quantum Leap, was the mental health issues you'd be going through.
This is true. Very, very true. But look, Donald Belisar, the guy that created it in the first place, has written a script for a film. He did 97 episodes of the original series. I don't know if it's going to wrap up that storyline or not.
There's 97 episodes of Quantum Leap.
97, there's quite a few, isn't it?
Do you know my favourite episode of Quantum Leap?
Go on.
It's the one where he's playing pool and they use Ziggy to tell him how to take the shots. And the last shot Ziggy breaks and he has to do it.
Yeah.
There's also a really fucking freaky Halloween one, isn't there?
Dunno, go on.
Yeah, there's like he doesn't know what's real and not. And who's the guy who's in June? Who's the handler?
The one that's in David Lynch's movies.
He's like terrifying in it.
Right.
There's like a demonic one.
Ooh, cool. I'm really tempted to go back and watch some more. I think I've only seen if it went for 90, and in actual fact that's really interesting. So it's 97 episodes between 1989 and 1993. They were really long seasons, weren't they? I remember them being like 20 episodes a season.
Yeah, a lot of TV's like that.
So yeah, I'd like to go back and watch.
BBC Two, 6 o'clock.
There's not a particularly strong sort of storyline arc throughout the whole thing, is there? It's not like, you could watch them in any random order.
Yeah, pretty much. There are some that touch on the larger thing of him
scheme
getting
of things.
Back.
Right. Anyway, yeah, Quantum Leap the movie. No details or anything as yet, but we'll let you know when we do, I guess. The Crow reboot, on the other hand, though, is starting production in February.
Is there any names attached to it?
Yeah, we've got a manager. We've got a director for it. Hang on a sec.
The Crow is another one. There's a whole series of comics. They don't necessarily need to redo the first one. Like, they could just do different stories from the different comics.
Well, a reboot wouldn't necessarily mean that they're going to retell the same story again, does it? So,
well, no, if they tell one of the other stories from the comics, that's fine, because we've already had 5 Crow films.
Yeah.
Like, some of them were good.
There's 5 Crow films?
Yeah. Most of them have really been badly handled, though.
Crow, City of Angels.
I don't need to know.
The one with Kirsten Dunst in. The one with the woman, where it's
Are
the
they all
main
terrible,
character
like
is a
the
woman.
Crow?
They're not awful. Like, some of them are much more bad than others, but some of them are okay. One of them was a TV movie, so that was awful.
Like The Highlander.
The first one's still the best one, and even that's got little bits that sort of I find a bit of an issue. But
so it's Jason Momoa.
As the Crow.
As the main dude, yeah.
Great.
He's not gothy in the slightest, is he?
He's too big and bulky, and yeah, I can't imagine him playing that character very well.
Ooh, he might be on board as a star and director.
And director?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I can't see that being very good, or that actually properly happening. But if they've already started filming...
Oh no, I'm wrong. Corin Hardy.
Well, at least this one will
Hardy?
probably not be a opportunity for kids to go, oh, this would be a good way to shoot a school up.
What?
Don't worry.
Corin Hardy, The Nun, he's doing The Hallow.
No.
Hello.
Butterfly, Strangers.
Don't know
Do
that
any
one.
of those make any...
That sounded just like a really broken up sentence.
It sounded like a weird, depressing haiku.
I think the Hallow may have been called the wood over here, or the forest, or something like that.
It's just a shit attack.
I'm pretty sure
the
that's
Hamlet.
the one I've seen with
the Tree Clooney.
the guy that plays Tyres in Spaced.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Let's have a quick
He's
look.
good. I like him. I saw him in something the other day. What was it?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
it is.
Secret Service.
It is that one, Michael Smiley. So it's definitely got a different name in the UK.
Okay.
It's an alright movie, actually. It's a pretty good horror film about a couple that moved to a nice little village somewhere, and the locals tell them not to go and play in the woods because there are spirits and stuff out there. And they think, yeah, there's funny little country folk.
And there are spirits and little fairies out there.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Cool.
That's worth a look. It's not very well rated, but I quite enjoyed it. Sunday night in, you know.
Wow. Jason Momoa as the Crow just seems like a bad choice.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You want someone a bit more wafy, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the character's not supposed to look like it's going to be able to beat you up.
No.
That's the point of the character. It's someone that's been through tragedy and been murdered by bigger, stronger, eviler people, and then gets brought back for revenge, and they don't think they're going to be able to deal with it, and it turns out to be much better at fighting than them.
There you
It's
go.
not supposed to look muscly.
How about talking about stuff that doesn't really need to happen, I suppose. Jigsaw is at the top of the box office.
What is?
Jigsaw, the new Saw movie.
Fucking dog shit.
It's not getting particularly good reviews, but again...
Doesn't matter. People are going to go because people are fucking idiots. They're going to go and see it, aren't they?
It's not really particularly up against anything that's attracting much attention.
Well, we've got three. There's three massive films out at the moment.
Go on. What are they?
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Thor.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, Thor's only this week though. So.
And it.
And it.
It's been out for weeks.
But it's still at the cinema, which is nuts.
It's no longer in the running. Blade Runner isn't making money at the cinema.
But how over something as shit as that? That's what I don't understand.
Listen to last week's podcast and listen
Mate,
to
they made 8 of those films. This is like the 9th, isn't it?
The 8th, I think.
Oh, it's getting to like Elm Street territory now. It's going to end up being a comedy in the next one.
Wasn't Saw 7 the 3D one?
I don't know. I lost
count.
I told you my story about why I don't watch Saw films.
But anyway, it's getting really bad reviews.
Were you kidnapped and held against your...
No, I had to sit in the front
toilet?
row. I'd hate Star Wars if I sat in the front row.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Craning your neck, looking up.
I need a new neck.
Looking up through people's nostrils to see what's going on. I mean, yeah. Anyway.
I'd take that flat bit out of the cinema and just rip them out.
Would
just
it be good to
do the world a
angle the
favour,
screen like a little bit forwards for people that have to sit right at the front?
Or just
take the seats out.
Or
Chris.
just put the first.
I don't know what joke you're trying to make. Take the fucking.
I'm not trying to make a joke.
Or just take the seats at the back row of that front flat bit and have them as low laying seats, basically, and then have the disabled area, and then have the gangway, and that's it.
I'd be fucking pissed off if I had a wheelchair. Do you know what I'd do if I was in a wheelchair, mate? I would wheel my wheelchair into the wheelchair bay,
and then get someone to carry me up to a chair.
To seat at appropriate level, 10 rows back.
True. See what you mean. Make them take you to the acoustic sweet spot as well, though, wouldn't you, Ross? To be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I just want somebody to
hang on a
go in
minute.
there. I just want somebody to go in there with an air rifle and shoot out all those lights they leave on.
Yeah, K12 in screen 11, and then shoot out those middle lights and rip out the ones in the floor.
Fair enough.
The ones on the floor don't bother me.
They do if you sat on the edge of the aisle in the perfect seat in screen 11. They're right next to you for the whole fucking film.
So if you're thinking about going and watching Jigsaw, well...
Don't. You're an idiot.
Everybody wants something new from it, but apparently it's just more of the same.
What a surprise!
Starts with a bunch of people trapped in a room together,
Closet.
and then it's a graphic gore fest with a third act reveal. Same old shit, just presented a bit differently. So
because he got diabetes
go and watch
this
bloody
time
Blade
instead
Runner.
of cancer.
Yeah, bloody idiots. Sorry, what was that?
Has he got diabetes instead of cancer at the end now? Is that the twist?
He died a long time ago, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first one.
Speaking of disabled areas, Lethal Weapon 5.
Well, how was that a link?
I don't know. I'm just thinking they're all quite old and they should probably be in wheelchairs.
Why didn't you say
I love a Lethal Weapon.
Unwanted to be remade movies?
Because I did that for the last link.
Oh.
Anyway.
Keep going.
I'm
do that 3 times and it'd be funny.
I'm up for a Lethal Weapon. The TV series is good fun.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
But it's the original writer and director, Richard Donner, who's talking to Mel Gibson and Danny Glover and Warner Brothers, apparently. So that could happen, but... Yeah.
Danny Glover or Donald Glover?
Donald Glover, Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah, I don't think
that's what I said.
You said Danny Glover twice in the last podcast when you meant Donald Glover, which I thought was quite amusing.
Whoops.
You do that a lot with those two, though.
Yeah, I'm just.
They've got very
names.
similar names.
Casually racist.
I shouldn't be doing it. No, they're both black. Danny Glover and Donald Glover.
They're very similar names.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like that Fox News reader who asked fucking Samuel L. Jackson what it was like being on the set of The Matrix.
I'm just really bad with names. We shouldn't really be doing a movie podcast. But there you go. I just have to make sure I very carefully write everything down at the beginning.
Yes.
Do my preparation. Anyway, right. Ross, did you watch The Crown?
Yeah, I did.
Season 3? Are you up for it?
Well, I'm more up for season 2.
Is there not a season 2 yet?
No.
Olivia Colman is quoted as saying that she's going to play the Queen in season 3.
You're reading notes off of your screen that you wrote. Do you know 2 is next to 3 on the keyboard?
Let me just...
Are you sure that they haven't already
check
announced season 2 and that season 3 has now been announced before season 2's even come out? Because they're in the middle of making season 2 or something.
Olivia Colman to play the Queen in The Crown season 3.
Season 2 airs 8th of December.
Ah, right, okay. So they've made it. Right, so there you go. You're going to have a season 3 as well then, Ross. It's a Christmas thing then, is it?
I did see an article that the writer said that the Queen is totally unintelligent and only interested in dogs and horses and not running the country.
The current Queen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was interesting that he felt the need to say that. Has he met her?
Who said that?
The writer of Crown.
Yeah, well, you don't really have to run the country, do you?
No, of course not.
All you do is go through your box every day and make sure the government's not completely fucking over everyone, which it is, but that's it. Neither here nor there.
Yeah, well.
Any more news that you guys have heard of this week? Before we move on to trailers.
No, I haven't heard of any other extra
Nothing
news.
you want to talk about?
No.
Why are you saying this like you know something that you should...
No, I'm not.
I'm excited about Lone Wolf and Cub.
Oh, yeah, I've got something for you. Lego Dimensions has been cancelled.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit canned, not making that anymore.
Well, all of those games, other than Skylanders, have gradually shut down.
At this point, they're all dead apart from Amiibos, aren't they?
Yeah, but Amiibos aren't connected to games, are they? They're just save sticks, basically, aren't they?
No, they do They don't have a dedicated game at the moment. But the clever thing Nintendo did was basically you don't need a dongle for them.
Right.
There's an NFC reader in the newer 3DSs.
Yeah.
And I think the Wii U and the Switch have both can read them.
So what do they do?
Amiibos. But you're right. People buy Amiibos because they look nice.
Yeah, but don't they just act as save points for games? They don't actually do any. They don't add anything to your
what
game.
they can do is they can put that character in a game as well.
Oh, okay. That's quite interesting.
Although, as arbitrary as that is.
Yeah. Well, but then that could be quite interesting playing like Mario, but playing as a character from some other game.
Oh, and Super Mario Odyssey is supposed to be unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's on the Switch, is it?
Yeah, it's Edge gave it a 10.
Wow.
And
okay.
Edge have only ever given out about 40 10s in like 20 years.
They gave The Last Zelda a 10, didn't they?
Yeah. And Famitsu, the Japanese magazine that score games out of 40, which sounds weird, but it's 4 categories of 10.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gave it a 38 or a 39.
Right.
Wow.
I don't think Famitsu score 40s because it's so broken down like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, you go graphics, gameplay,
and
something else, and
word
something
on the street is it's really good.
What style of game is it?
It's a proper 3D Mario game.
So like SNES, not SNES.
Like Mario
N64.
64. Yeah.
Mario 64 with elements of Mario Galaxy and other weird, quirky because you can use the hat to be anything, can't you? So
the trick is the hat can go on things, and then
you become that thing.
Yeah,
yeah. So like, you could chuck the hat.
There's
on
a fan theory
and you
that
can be the dinosaur.
There's a fan theory that the hat took over Mario years ago. It's fucking brilliant because the hat's got eyes.
Yeah,
right.
And but I can't remember who it was. It's someone. It was some company quite big, not as big as IGN, but someone like maybe like Games Radar or something like that was like, it's only taken Nintendo 32 years to make another perfect Mario game. And I'm like, that is the most inflammatory statement ever, because pretty much every Mario game that ever comes out is perfect.
They're all good, aren't they? The DS ones are a bit short-lived, but
Mario Galaxy 2 was
Mario Galaxy, I quite like that
Mario
one.
Galaxy.
Mario Galaxy 2
But yeah,
is a bit
like
rubbish.
any of the 3D Mario, most of the 3D Mario games have just been incredible.
Yeah.
I only liked
Galaxy's okay.
Galaxy.
Yeah,
I didn't like any of the other. The Paper Marios weren't very good.
Yeah, okay.
And 3D Mario Land or whatever it was called.
But mainstay Mario games.
Yeah.
They're all just fucking fantastic, aren't they?
Ultra playable and introducing nice little quirky new things every time.
But it's like computer games have been around long enough that you think they must have run out of ideas, but then Nintendo just come along and go, just invented this new thing in our game, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah, they do change mechanics up and kind of inspire other consoles and game makers, don't they?
I'd really like a Switch, but I think I need to buy a house first.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Priorities. PlayStation
Spend
4.
£1,000 on a full survey of a house instead of buying a Nintendo Switch.
PlayStation 4 is the priority for me, I think. So I'm hanging on for my 40th. PlayStation 40th.
Nice.
Next year. Come on.
PlayStation 5 will be out by then.
It will be. I won't mind. So, two other bits of news that I completely forgot. So, really important ones as well. We've got a title for the Mamma Mia sequel.
Fuck off.
Can we guess what it's called?
Fuck off.
It's not called Fuck Off.
Is it called Waterloo?
No.
Is it called Fuck Off?
You already said that. You already said that.
Ross looks like
Ross,
he's
no
thinking.
idea.
No guesses? Yeah. Okay. It's called Mamma Mia, Here I Go Again.
And this is
quite
the third.
Good. That's quite good.
Is
That's quite a good
this the
title.
third one?
That's the second one.
Is it? I thought they'd already done a second one. Oh, God.
I like that title. Kudos to them for that. I won't be watching it, but still, you know.
Well, yeah, at least they
Quite cool.
I suppose they used a bit of the song.
Yeah.
You know, fair enough.
Clever. And bloody Dora the Explorer is getting a live-action movie being
That's
directed by... Go on, guess.
Scorsese.
No.
Mick G.
No. Who
Shane Black.
Who handles
Pee Wee
young
Herman.
female protagonists
Pee Wee
horrendously
Herman.
badly?
Pee Wee Herman.
No, another one.
Michael Bay.
Yes.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Fuck off. The world has gone completely mad over the last 2 years.
So she's probably going to be having underage sex or something, I expect, isn't she?
So we got the guy who did going by Transformers 4, yeah.
Exactly.
So we've got Michael Bay now doing Dora the Explorer, Turtles and Transformers. We've got the world's just gone mental. Like Ridley Scott can't stop. Like what's his name's doing 4 more Avatar films. Cameron. Like I just don't understand. I'm lost. Trailers quickly
The
before
world's
brain
gone mad.
dies.
Right, trailers. World War I drama called Journey's End. Seen a trailer for that yet, Ross?
No.
I think you should go and watch that.
Oh.
Sounds interesting.
World War I drama
Tanks
about...
aren't very good in World War I.
Wow.
Are they going to get loads of complaints from people because there's very few women and no black people in it like they did with Dunkirk because it's trying to be historically accurate?
Yeah, because people are just fucking idiots.
It sounds like it's not going to be moving around too much.
Right.
It's a bit of a kind of like...
Insular.
Stuck in your trench sort of thing.
Yeah, in a dugout.
Cool.
So they're stuck in a dugout in Ain in 1918.
Will it be as good as the last episode of Blackadder?
Talking about being stuck in one place. There's a really good Israeli film about a tank crew,
Right. Okay.
and the camera never leaves the tank.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. And they go into Lebanon.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's really clever how they've made it as well.
Das Boot's a bit like that though as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's
4
but
hours
there's
long,
still
yeah.
external shots of the submarine getting
Yeah.
depth charged.
Yeah.
But That's such a good film. I just thought about how good it is. Then that film is fucking incredible.
What's this one
like
called?
Regardless of whether you like war movies or not, because you take so much more. It's more than just a war. It's a survival story.
Das Boot's gripping, isn't it? And the uncut version, I think you just said, Adam, is like 4 hours long.
Yeah, I made the mistake of watching the uncut version, and it's just too long. I just couldn't.
I don't think it's too long.
I couldn't do it.
I think it's a fucking masterpiece. But yeah. Maybe watch the cut version first.
Yeah, I made the mistake of watching the uncut version first, and I think it was just too long for where my head was.
I've not seen the cut version.
No, what you need to do is there's 3 cuts, because there's enough footage that they made a like a 3-part hour, so 3 hour and a half long TV movies.
Okay.
That they would show over a weekend sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it'd start on a Friday.
Right, okay.
So you might have seen that because that is available, but there's a director's cut which is still long, but not too long, like 3 hours instead of like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the one I've seen. And
I'll have to give that a watch instead at some point. It's been a long time since
I've got it on Blu-ray. I'll just send it to you.
Anyway, Journey's End. Yeah, go and have a look at it. It looks fucking beautifully shot.
Cool.
And it's the story of a group of young British officers led by a mentally deranged officer called Stanhope, who's just losing the plot. And they're all just awaiting their fate, thinking, Jesus, we're stuck over this bloke. So, yeah, looks good.
Will it be as powerful as the end of Blackadder goes forth?
That's exactly what I just said.
One of the most poignant bits of World War One.
Actually watched it in a history lesson. Teacher showed us that episode in a history lesson.
Because it's like fucking unbelievable, isn't it?
It was. I remember watching it for the first time and going, wow, that's really hard hitting.
Genius of British comedy.
Just fade to a field of poppies.
Yeah.
So, the next one is Winchester. Which reminded me...
I haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
Okay. So, it reminded me that that's the name of the hotel in John Wick.
And the pub in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yeah. So it is. It is the hotel in John Wick, isn't it? Or did I make that up?
You made that up, I think.
I think you're thinking of the pub in Shaun of the Dead.
Maybe I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, Winchester, the house that ghosts built. Helen Mirren stars as...
Oh, I like a bit of Helen Mirren.
William Wirt Winchester's widow. Now, do you know the true story of his widow, by any chance?
No, but
I know about this. It's because this house is in Northern California.
Yeah, it still exists.
And it's like a crazy house, isn't it?
Yep.
Like every room, it's literally a haunted mansion of crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's got all these weird rooms. Like it's like it's a fairground.
It was
ride,
built as a maze, though, isn't it? Or
deliberately,
either a maze or a shrine to all the people that were killed by the Winchester repeater. So she thought that she was being haunted by the ghosts of everyone that was ever killed by her husband's gun that he invented. And so the house, throughout the whole of her life, was permanently under construction. So you've got staircases that just go into walls.
Wow.
Doors that open into, it's 7 stories high.
Yeah.
So doors that open into...
nothing.
Yeah. Just like, whoa, slipping out of the building.
Big hole.
And yeah. So that'll be the autobiographical story of why that house became what it is.
That sounds like a biopic that's interesting.
Okay.
That's got some fucking substance to it.
And you like Helen Mirren.
And yes, she's hot as fuck. So I'll quite happily watch her being in a crazy house.
Cool. There's a new featurette for the Bright movie with Will Smith.
Yeah, when I first saw the initial teaser trailer, I was interested. I'm
a bit weirded out by it now.
Yeah, the more they've released, the less I'm interested.
It's only being released on Netflix anyway, so...
I get it for free. Well, not for free, I pay for Netflix, but yeah, so I'm not paying any extra to watch it. But yeah, it's just a weird one, because it's like, I'm
going to give it a go. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's just kind of got that, it's almost just a remake of Men in Black, but with fairies and goblins.
It's either Lord of the Rings with guns, or...
Men in Black with fantasy rather than sci-fi.
Trolls, yeah.
So weird.
Depending on which way you look at it. Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie has got his first trailer.
Oh, because he's retiring again, isn't he?
Yeah. So we like a bit of Daniel Day-Lewis on this podcast, don't we?
Cobbler.
You what? What'd you call me?
Peach cobbler.
So yeah, it's
Pineapple
called...
upside down cake.
It's called Phantom Thread. And it's set in 1950s London. He's a tailor. and he meets a woman that will become his mistress. He's already married. And, yeah, just from listening to him talk throughout the trailer, he's got a very, 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 very good, like, English accent without a hint of Irish in it. And, well, he's just very good, isn't he?
He's English, mate.
No, he's Irish.
He's English. He lives in Ireland.
No.
Yes, he is. He's from London.
He's from London.
No, he's not.
He fucking is, mate.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, does he just do a very good Irish accent then?
He just
does
really good Irish
voices.
he's the finest method actor of his generation. And you're like, can he do an Irish accent?
It's not really what I meant. But...
yeah, I'm interested. I'll give it a go. See what it's like.
I always thought he was Irish and was just incredibly good at... I don't know. Maybe it's because of one left foot. One left foot? My left foot. Yeah. Maybe that's why. That must have been the first thing I ever saw him in.
Well, on the note of method actors, I don't know if you guys... I can't remember if you spoke about it last week. But
it's about the Jim Carrey thing.
Yeah, I'm well excited about that.
I cannot wait to see that.
Because I really soon.
I fuck it, it's 17th of November.
Yeah.
I fucking
same
love...
day as Battlefront 2 comes out.
Oh, you're going to have to make a choice for a bit of your time.
In actual fact, it's the same date as bloody Justice League as well.
Oh, well. I'd rather watch that on Netflix than go to a shitty, expensive cinema to watch something made out of CGI and green screen.
Plasticine, maybe.
Yeah. No, it looks amazing. I loved that film anyway. Andy Kaufman's a comedian that I've always looked up to, and then Jim Carrey playing him in that film was superb. And now I've always wanted to know what it was like behind the scenes when they made it. So now I get to see him losing his marbles.
Was it you that said it's almost like that? The film that's coming out was the film that he wanted to make more than...
Yeah, maybe.
I think he's still stuck in the character. Some of the weird stuff he's done recently, I think he still is half embodying it. He's just not able to get back to normal.
What do you think he's him, but then every now and then he thinks, what would Andy do?
Yeah, definitely.
And just acts on that thought instead of just...
Yeah, but doesn't even think about it. He doesn't even think, what would Andy do? I think part of his brain just automatically goes there and makes that decision to do it the way Andy would do it.
Okay, speaking of Irish accents, now I've got an argument to suggest why this would happen to somebody. Around about 15, 20 years ago, a friend of mine had some Irish family, and they were over for the weekend. And we spent literally from... like a Friday evening, going out getting drunk together. We spent all weekend with his Irish family, and we were just sort of not mocking, not in any way, but we were just sort of joining in and having a laugh with us trying to speak with an Irish accent for the whole entire drunken weekend. And when I went to work on the Monday morning, working in telesales, I had a fucking Irish accent.
You do,
yeah.
That's a
natural.
Scientifically known thing. You do it on a subconscious level.
Yeah.
I do it with people at work all the time. I slip more into their way of speaking and their accent so they feel comfortable.
And so you do it at a subconscious level. Yeah.
So Man on the Moon.
I even did it a little bit in New Zealand, and I was only there for like 5 weeks.
When I go to London to see my family, I slip into a more London-sounding accent. When I come back down here, everyone goes, "Oh, you sound like a Londoner." When I go up north and I see my northern family, I slip into a Geordie accent. And when I come back down here, everyone says I sound northern.
I'm just imagining that episode of Kevin and Perry where he comes back from Manchester and he's like, "All right, Kev, how's it going, mate?" oh look, Perry, you've drawn on a little Mr.
Well, you guys will have to see what I sound like on Monday when I get back from Winchester. I don't think there's much of a difference.
You'll probably sound exactly like we do on the Isle of Wight, with a really flat, neutral South of England accent.
But yeah.
But yes, so I imagine with Man on the Moon it took quite a long time to film, and he stayed in character for the entirety of the filming process.
And you think
so for him to come out the other side of it, I can completely understand why he might be thinking.
Yeah. Well, look at Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger got well into the character, and then it obviously had effects on him. And he, from what they've said, he accidentally took too many sleeping tablets or whatever it was to deal with nightmares and stuff. So there's lots of actors who do the method thing, to the point where what's his name, Christian Bale with The Machinist, fucked his own body up from dropping weight and gaining weight too quickly. So method actors, physically and mentally, definitely push themselves, and most actors are fucking mental anyway. You've got to be able to deal with being in that business. So Yeah, I think...
You've got to be pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch it.
I think he's brilliant. Sorry, yeah.
I'm up for watching it.
Cool.
Other trailers.
What were we talking about? Sorry, which
trailers?
No, what?
You were banging on about Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
And then I interrupted and talked about Andy Kaufman movie.
The Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
Sounds like
you've already said about that though.
I can't remember when it comes out, but yeah, I don't think I've got that written down. But it reunites Daniel Day-Lewis with the guy that directed There Will Be Blood, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Cool.
So yeah, expect some gloriousness.
Gloriousness.
It looks beautiful. Go and have a look at the trailer. Future Man. Have you seen a trailer for that by any chance? It's a Hulu comedy.
Right.
13 episodes dropping on the 14th of November. And it's the guy that played Peter in The Hunger Games.
No idea who that is.
He's the not boyfriend.
I don't know how much.
Who is actually the boyfriend in the end?
I don't know. I've only watched the first one.
Yeah, I know you mean.
Yeah. So he is a really good gamer. So he's got this specific game that he plays really well, and it seems that there's nothing else in his life that he's good at. So he plays this computer game to shit, and to the point of completion, and he's the only person in the world ever to have completed this computer game.
Right.
And then people turn up from the future and say, "Ha! The computer game was a test. Everything that's in the game is real. Come back to the future with us and defeat."
So it's like
evil.
Buck Rogers, but
it's Ender's Game.
It's the exact plot, and it actually says this in Ender's Game as well. Is that? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
The Last Starfighter is the reference that they give in this show, but it's a comedy and it looks very, very good. I'm quite impressed.
Might give it a watch.
Go and have a look at the trailer. Happy's another one as well.
Don't know.
Happy's a sci-fi show about a cop who's had a bit of a nervous breakdown, and I can't work out if he's a cop or a hitman. I think he's a bit of both. And all of a sudden he's got this little weird hippo fairy thing giving him advice.
Called Happy.
Flying around. And the show's called Happy. I don't know what any of the characters are called. But it looks quite interesting.
Interesting. I'll give it a go.
That's coming out on December 6th. As I say, it's Sci-Fi Channel. And did you guys... Oh, you like a period drama, Ross?
Yeah, as long as it's... Yeah.
Kit Harington, Gunpowder. Did you see it?
Yeah, I want to watch that. It's on iPlayer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah.
So I just happened upon a trailer for it.
It's pretty bloody and gross in places, isn't it?
I don't know.
I've seen lots of articles saying fact versus fiction, and then they have like lists of things that they've kind of totally made up and things that were accurate, but then it's a drama.
Because Fawkes is the only one who gets caught initially, isn't it? And then the rest get surrounded in a house and basically shot up and burnt out, I think.
Right.
Spoilers.
Spoilers alert. Spoilers for historical accurate drama.
I was trying to explain what Guy Fawkes was about and why they did what they did to some kids the other day at work. And do you know how difficult it is to explain to kids how some people wanted to blow up a load of politicians because of religious reasons, where certain religions were being stopped from practicing over other religions, but there's also elements of political stuff. I just ended up just going, well, there's a bunch of people that didn't quite like what was going on in the country at the time, thought they'd like blow up the leaders to change things.
What I think's so powerful.
Read this, and like gave them an encyclopedia because it just didn't. It was really difficult to explain. I couldn't work out how to explain it to 6-year-olds.
What I find fascinating as I've got older is that the establishment managed to morph it into a holiday almost, like a day of celebration, that they didn't blow up Parliament and kill everybody, including the king.
It's very weird, isn't it?
But then most of the people that we know...
do you want to come and give me a hand to blow up Parliament? Yeah, fuck it.
Whereas, some of the guys we know, we went up to a mate's place on his land every year and would do things.
The
and
one
guy
year
that
was filled with pigs' guts.
We built a massive version of the Houses of Parliament and had fireworks shoot across into it, blow that up, that then shot fireworks out that hit Guy Fawkes, made his stomach spill open with stuff all over the place.
That was supposed to happen. In reality, people went around with sticks on fire, like going, it didn't really quite work properly, so let's set that alight and then set off the fireworks over here. Yeah. But it looked good.
Afterwards, as a little double bill, put V for Vendetta on.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody love that film. Written on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Whilst on holiday.
What the script was, or...
No, the comic.
Alan Moore
was on holiday.
Holidaying on the Isle of Wight.
He was.
Probably up the long stone, wasn't he? Did some
another
stuff.
random comic book thing, just to let you know. Friends of mine and yours on the island who've just rebranded and redone their comic shop got a mention on Twitter today from Mark Millar saying, well done, congratulations, good luck with the change to your shop. And
is this the one in Newport?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It was called Cheap Thrills, it's now called Heroes.
That's a good bit of branding. I never got the Cheap Thrills thing.
Well,
it sounds like a fancy dress shop.
I think originally you used to do weird music, comic books and other stuff, and I don't know if it's in reference to maybe the old school comics that were called Cheap Thrills, or the Zappa album that was called Cheap Thrills, or something else. But
do they constantly play David Bowie in there now?
No. But I think, some people got... a couple of people I've spoken to always thought when they walked past it wasn't a comic shop, it was like a weird music shop because it was called Cheap Thrills.
Right.
So they associated that with something else, so yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
The good thing is then you can pop into Barry's Exchange and pick up a CD Walkman for next thing.
Is Barry's Exchange
and then get a cake
there?
on the way out.
I think it's slowly getting smaller. I think he now runs out of a shoebox.
I've got two things. If you want to exchange, you can exchange
got
a left shoe for a Bon Jovi CD.
And an analog Sky TV receiver.
Cool. Right, and the last trailer then is Mudbound that we spoke about a little while ago.
Have we talked about it already?
What
about Sparrow?
Sparrow?
Is it Sparrow? Oh, shit.
What are you talking about?
The Jennifer Lawrence one.
What's that then?
Her, so
she's like a Russian spy, sort of Femme Nikita sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, I did see something about that. I thought it's Jennifer Lawrence. Adam won't like that. No, it's not.
I don't like her. I don't think she's very good. I was quite impressed with her in that thing with the sci-fi thing in the space station ship.
Passengers.
Yeah, that was alright.
It was alright.
Wasn't great, but it was
Red Sparrow.
Red Sparrow.
It's about the Russian spies from Novosibirsk.
The Red Sparrow. Anyway, that's my Russian accent. Thank you very much.
Bit of random phone noise in the background.
So we should link that one as well then, should we?
Yeah, why not?
I'll stick it on my list. Hang on a sec. Tell us all about it, Ross.
What, Red Sparrow?
Yeah.
It's a film with Jennifer Lawrence in. The trailer's on YouTube. It's coming out next year.
Does the trailer look alright?
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah?
I might be being objectively a little bit
biased,
but yeah, it does look pretty good.
What's the premise?
I think what they used to do is they used to get hot women to seduce sort of like government officials and stuff, and diplomats, and just like glean information from them and stuff.
Nowadays they just use Facebook.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, but it does look good.
Cool.
Looks a bit ploddy, but it looks like it'd be a fun film to watch. Not fun, but good.
That was our roundup of Red Sparrow.
But good.
Anyway, right, Mudbound. Yes, we spoke about it a couple of weeks back. It's going to be the movie that gets Netflix into the Oscars, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's
they're doing limited release, aren't they?
Yeah, it's being released in theatres and on Netflix on the same day.
Cool.
Which is quite weird. November 17th.
Cool.
Really looking forward to it. Go and have a look at the new trailer. Fuck me, it looks so... just the photography in it is mind-blowingly beautiful. And the acting looks like it's going to be like just top class. I can understand why people are thinking that this is Oscar-worthy. So, yeah.
Cool.
Looks like my pick of the week. Because that's the thing. No, it's not. You're right. The silence says it all. Right, Adam, where can we find you?
You can find me on all the usual places. YouTube and Facebook, Adam Gatchell Arts. Doing lots of bits and bobs. Got a show with Reading Between the Lines Collective, me and the 5 other local people coming up soon that we will hopefully be travelling around to different places.
Is it a local event for local people?
It is for the first one, as testing water to see how it works, and then if it works we might take it other places.
So you can't come if you're from the mainland?
No, not at the moment. Not for unless you want to come over for the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, have a look.
Don't bother. Ferry's too expensive.
It is.
Ross?
You can find me playing Fortnite Battle Royale, because that is literally all
Go and shoot him. Go and shoot him.
Did you watch my video I posted?
I saw that you'd posted a video. I didn't watch it yet. It was all your kills or something, wasn't it?
No, we just won 3 games that week. and I put them in a little video.
I did mean to, and then I got sidetracked. It was on Facebook, wasn't it?
I don't understand what the
Bloody
game
Facebook.
is.
Right, so there's 100 people, and you all get in a bus, and the bus flies through the air, and then you jump out, and you land on an island. You got no weapons. You have to rummage for the weapons, and then the circle gets smaller until there's nobody left.
Oh, okay, so it's literally Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's brilliant.
Actually sounds very good.
But the
third person, first person?
Third person.
Third.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be too hard in first person.
PC, PS4.
It's on PS4, free to play as well.
Awesome.
And it's on PC and Xbox as well.
Cool.
They had to turn off squads this weekend because they had 811,000 concurrent connections.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good going, that.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
That's quite a new game as well,
Nearly
isn't
a
it?
million people playing it at once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So have you found any, like, arsehole kids from South Korea that are ridiculously good?
No, because the way video games work.
Your eye twitched then a little bit as you...
No, you do die a lot. Like, there's quite a steep learning curve. You just get the first kill you get in the game, you're like, yes, I finally killed somebody.
Right.
But, yeah, and then your first win is a long way
His
from
eye
your
just
first
twitched
kill
then,
as well.
Anyway, go on.
But yeah, no, most games are region locked. It works out where you are by your ping to the local servers.
So that's great if you're playing at a random time when no one else nearby is.
There's always people online, mate. I got up the other morning. It was like 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and I've got straight into a full game.
Wow,
cool.
Because when you
Mental.
got 811 concurrent connections over the course of the day, there's probably like 3 times. Yeah, there's probably 3 times that amount of people playing it over the course of a day.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Like, even if you win, the game will be no longer than sort of like 15, 20 minutes.
Nice.
Cool.
And you can just, if you die, you can just back out straight and then go straight into another game.
So when you win a game, do you get anything for that? Do you get to carry any of that over?
You start off with these bent little gliders, and when you win a match, you get a little umbrella. And the more kills you get, the umbrella's change. Because when you jump out the bus, out the bus and float down, so you skydive and then you pull this glider.
Right.
But then when you have won a game, you get a little like Mary Poppins style umbrella. And the more kills you get, the umbrella changes like the design on it. So actually, as you're coming in,
does that give you any extra benefits?
It does, because when you're landing with an umbrella, it scares people away from you because they're like, "Oh, he's won a game."
Right. See.
Like if you're going for the same rooftop and you see a weapon there, so quite often somebody will bail now because they'll see you've got an umbrella, then you can Mary Poppins their ass.
Amazing.
It's a very, very good game.
Cool. And so you don't carry any skill points over or anything like that?
No, you level up now. There is a leveling system, but all it does is unlock perks and stuff. Because it's free to play, there's a cosmetic store as well now, so you can make yourself look different.
Right.
But you pay money. That's how they pay for the game. Is you pay
it's like
money
microtransactions, basically.
Yeah, but it's not
but
pay
cosmetic
to win,
ones.
just cosmetic.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
But the loot's like where everything lands is completely random.
Yeah.
Like there's a building in the top northwesternmost point of the map, and it's if you go there's a chance there'll be a chest in there. But the other day I got there and there's just no chest, and then the next building along somebody was already in, so I literally had no stuff.
I'll have to have a look at that.
And it does the different coloured, like the weapons go from white, green, blue, purple, orange, like they do in role-playing games.
So apart from an irrational fear of umbrellas, everybody's always got an equal opportunity to win.
Yeah, but there's strategy involved in where you land and how you...
Yeah,
like,
but no one gets anything to make them better than anyone. Yeah, it's all about skill and
if you're good,
tactics.
you go to a densely populated area and fight with lots of people at the start. You know how in the Hunger Games there's always the group that goes into the Crucible? Is it called the Crucible? No, the Conch. What's the shell in the middle called? Doesn't matter. But yeah, there's always that early bloodbath, isn't there?
Yeah.
I tend not to do that. I'm more of I'll go somewhere where I know it's remote and try and gear up and
head your way in,
and then move in with the storm really slowly. And it seems to work well.
It's a storm that closes the circle.
I'm not young enough to be able to go in and play twitchy.
Right.
Like, the only game I've kept any good at was Battlefield.
Right.
And even then, the thing is, with Battlefield, it doesn't matter if you die. Whereas this, that's it, you're out.
Yeah.
If you play in teams, you get wounded and you get stuck crawling around the floor and you can get revived. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But then if both of your teammates if all of your teammates end up down, you don't have to finish somebody off for it to wipe a team out. It's very good.
So
cool.
yeah, there you go. That's
where you can find Ross.
Go and find him and smack him with a saucepan.
10 minutes later, we finished the show.
And me, you can find me hanging out on the SNEW with the Crew's Facebook page, editing this podcast, putting stuff on Chris Quinton's music and things. Honourable mention to Sticher and Libsyn for hosting our podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for saving the world from nuclear disaster.
Yeah.
Because they're great. And, of course, you can find our podcast everywhere on the internet by just Google searching SNEW with the Crew or just another Retrocast or the SNEWS Button, spelt SNEWS, of course. And we've never actually told people why it is we did SNEW, is it?
I think it should be kept a secret until someone actually asks us that question on Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
Until someone actually asks us, we're not going to tell you. So you start writing us some questions and chucking us some ideas for shows for just another Retrocast, like topics and that, and then we'll start answering some of these mad questions that you might have wondered.
I guess this could tell us how many people listen to our podcast until the very end as well.
Yeah.
So yes. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listeners. We've been SNEW with the Crew. Thank you very much. We will catch you next time. Bye. Say bye, guys.
Podcast. Burn. Close the podcast.
Bye. Right.
Cool.
I'm going to go and watch loads of Stranger Things and some Star Trek.